last maybe session, I covered some of the points now. I told you I am convinced to prepare a training Python script for TensorFlow for maybe what majorly this script will do, that Python script will do. It will load the data from the input channels, and when I say input channels, that means nothing but, okay, let me reload it. uh, you have seen one input file over here, okay. That's the input channel. It will load data from there, the train data and the test data, and after that it will configure that training with hyperparameters, and after we will train the model, and we will save some of the output of the model, or maybe the model to for some deployment purposes, okay. When I say input channels, that means inside this cancer detection we are having this input, okay. These are some of the input channels, the train and test data we are having, okay. So then after making this script, I will configure TensorFlow estimator using high level Sagemaker Python libraries. Why not low level? Because I told you there is no concept of low level Python libraries or SDKs in TensorFlow, okay. So let's come to the business now, and let's get our hand dirty. Now we are writing a TensorFlow script. Okay, so I have given you 4 points. What this script will do: it will load the data from the input channel. It will configure training with hyper parameters, and then it will train the model. And after that, it will save the model, maybe for the deployment purposes. Okay, or maybe to use those models in some other scenarios, okay. Let me uh, that's the thing. Let's then what is happening, I will zoom it a bit. That will be maybe helpful for you. Yeah, so I have zoomed it a bit. I This was covered maybe in previous video. Again, I am covering it in this session. Just want to maybe make sure that everything is going smoother in a smoother way, and maybe uh, everything is working fine. So these are the libraries we will require: OS, JSON, Maths, ArcPath. So let's see the whole functioning of ArcPath. It will allow us to take command line arguments. Okay. So for that, first I'm making one maybe what one we can say. Mm, uh, for parsing the arguments, for parsing those arguments, I am writing some code, okay. I'm writing this function for that. Let's see what uh, we will do inside this, okay. So I will parse, what I will parse is arg arg parse dot arguments and parser, okay. I will call for inside argument parser. What will happen? So this argpass.argument parser will be stored in parse variable, okay. And now we will get to the real business. So parse.add argument, uh, add argument, and then maybe I will write this. This argument will be model directory, okay. So and type will be string. So it will take the directory where the model is, okay. So very simple, nothing much to maybe think about, okay. Then again I am copying all this just to save time. Parse, then again the second argument which I want to maybe add up is, that will be model directory, okay. So I will give it sm model directory, okay. And what differences will be there is, the type will be a string, and the default it will take, okay. By default what it need to be take is, that is os dot environment. mm, dot get. Okay, so what it should get by default it should get sm underscore model underscore dir. Okay, so by default it will access the uh, sm model dir. Okay, so whatsoever will be the directory of the model, it will take it by default. Okay, that's the thing. Otherwise, by giving the tag sm model dir, you can change the by default thing. If you will not change it, it will maybe fix that thing to sm model dir. And what sm model dir does, it simply revert back to those points where your original directory is, which is having maybe we can say that as a base directory. Okay. Then again. What I can do is I can go for train. Okay, train tag. So you can maybe use it as a tag. Okay, so if you will write this tag in the command line, and after a space you will give some of the directory name, then that will become the default directory, or the directory will be changed to that location. Okay, so again the input will be in string, and default I am giving uh, OS environment. Again uh, it will get from the OS environment, and what will be that thing, that thing, how it will get, maybe the training thing. Okay, where our training data is here. So maybe we called it as channel, so maybe that will be sm channel. Okay, and then train. Okay, sm channel train. Maybe if there will be some errors, we will maybe resolve them after writing this code. Okay. Then again, we have to go for maybe test, where the test will be saved, and again it can access it from sm channel test. Okay. Wait, it need to be in capitals. What is happening? Okay, test. That's the thing. Okay. Now again, I have to search for the host. I'll maybe write for the I will search for the host. Now you might be thinking like, what will be the host? I will give you some more details on these model directory and all. Let's finish this code first, and uh, run your brain up till then, and then I will give you some more points. Okay. Uh, then we have done model directory, where the model directory is, where sm model directory is, and after that these are the local paths. Okay, so default will be the local path. So these gives us the local paths. You have to put this thing in maybe in your head. Let me give some of the more points on model dir. That is, it is a location where model data, checkpoint data, or maybe tensor board checkpoints should be saved during the training. Okay. So what I am telling it is, the that will be the model directory where that will be the location where model data, checkpoint data, tensor board checkpoints should be saved. Okay, then after I'm coming to maybe this sm model, and in sm model what I am saying is, this thing represents local path where training job can write model artifact to. Okay, so after training artifacts in this directory, all the artifact will be uploaded to S3 for model hosting. Okay, then this train and test. So these are input data channels for training and testing. Okay, so maybe these are uh, very interpretable, so you can understand it. Now I will come up to hosts. The concept of host is, these are the list of trainings. Okay, and these are all the list of trainings. Uh, this is what you can interpret host as, all the list of trainings. Okay, so again the input will be maybe in a list, uh, because these are list. Okay, so I guess that will be in list, and after that the default will be It comes up in JSON format. Okay. So because these are all the trainings, so where the training is happening, which host is involved in which kind of training, maybe there are more than one training happening at one time. So you need to get a list of that. Okay, and by default you can use SM host for that. Okay, yeah. So you have to use SM host for that. Yeah. So I guess there are some formatting problems. Yeah, now it is going fine. Okay. So by SM host, you can get some um, uh, default things where lists of training jobs is happening. Okay, or maybe where you can see list of training jobs. Then I guess there is some problem again. Uh, Again after this load, I have not closed it. Yeah, like this. Okay. Then again I will do parse arcs, and this time what I am trying to do is I am trying to add one current host. Okay. Why to add maybe current host and host? So current host will tell us right now in maybe in which location our so uh, our work is being done. Okay, our model is being trained, because there will be list of current host. Okay, so host will provide us list of all the host, and current host will provide list of maybe current host. So this is useful when training is being done in distributed environment. Right now we are not using distributed environment. So again, in maybe real life we use distributed environment, so there this current host is always useful. So so that when we maybe save our model, or when we maybe fetch our data, so we have to save that thing in our current environment, not in all the environments. Okay, so at that time this thing maybe is very important. Okay. Then again, it will take maybe as a list. It will take list, and then again, the default will be wait. The default will go as OS environment. Okay. Uh, Environment, or that gets completed with environment, and then dot get we will have, and everything will come under SM current. Help us to maybe get the current host. Okay, and then maybe I will add a number of classes. From here I will do one thing. I will try to add now the hyperparameters. Okay, so what I want to tell you is these hyperparameter can be changed. Okay, right now I am giving these hyperparameters some of the default values, which can be changed. Okay, don't worry. If you really want to change them, or if you want to maybe play with it, you can directly change them by giving them tag maybe num classes. Okay, its type will be int, because it will be maybe 2 3 or 4, and default will be 2, because we are only dealing with two classes right now. Okay, then one more thing which I want to one more hyperparameter which I want to maybe include by default, and wait, and that hyperparameter, because it will be, see, understand like this. Someone who is training this model, he will not know like how many classes are there, or maybe he know, but he don't know maybe what are the mini batch size, what can be a good number of epochs, or maybe train size, test size, because he is not he is maybe he is new to this code. So by this default values, he will come to know like, okay, somebody was working with maybe these values, or maybe he can think to maybe upgrade those values then. Okay, that totally depends upon that guy, but this will be very helpful for maybe the guy who is working out of the blue with this code. Okay, so then mini batch size, I will maybe go with
It's 8 o'clock.
default 50. Okay, I'm giving his mini batch size of default 50. Then maybe I will add some epochs. Okay, And for epochs I will say epoch, epochs. Okay. And in epochs maybe I will give type is equals to int, and of course it will be int, and the default will be maybe 3. Okay. And after that again I have to uh, give it some more values. And many batch we have given, number classes we have given, epochs we have given. Now okay, train size, uh train size. Okay, now I'm giving it train size. And maybe train size int will be type, sorry, type will be int. Okay. And then as same we have to give the test size, uh, test size type will be int, and that's all. And then again one more thing we have to give over here is learning rate. Learning rate. Okay. And the type will be float, because we generally give 0.001, so we need to put this thing in mind. We cannot write there int, and then default value will be 0.1. Okay. Let it live with 0.01. Okay. That will be maybe good to go with number. Okay, of learning rate. Then I have to return. And what I will return, I will return parser dot parse underscore now underscore args. Okay, this is what I'm returning. Then what I will do is after doing all this thing, uh, these are the hyperparameters. Again I am telling you, these are the hyperparameters which the model will require. Okay. So these hyperparameters, model always require these kind of hyperparameters. That's why I am defining it over here in parse arguments. And yeah, one thing I told you that you can I have given them default value, so that if somebody will maybe forget to give it some values, so every value I am giving them as default. Okay. And then you can using by using this tag you can change these default values. Okay, if maybe someone want to do that. Okay. Now I will create a main gateway for our code. Okay. So that's the main gateway of our code. And maybe what is name equals to main. You have some intuition about it, and if you don't have any intuition about it, let me conclude it like this. So it is the first gateway to get into this whole script. Okay. So you have to execute this thing first. This thing will be executed first, and after that whatsoever will come, that will be executed. Okay. So what I am doing over here is you have to see it as an entry point of an Python script. Okay. Okay. So what we are doing, I am trying to call this parse arg function from here. Okay. So I'm trying to call parse args here, and maybe it will return some of the values like which. Okay, remove it totally. Then parse args, and maybe it will return us two things, which one will be the arguments, and let's put another one into unknown because we don't need it. Okay. So you need to this is your task. What will come inside unknown. Okay. Let's see maybe if anyhow you can understand it or not, or whatsoever will come into maybe this what we can say unknown, because I am telling you it will give you two values, and you need to understand what two thing it is, it will maybe give you back. Okay. So that's your task. That's your one more task that you have to do. Okay. So after that I have to write one function to maybe read and decode TF records files. Okay, because we have maybe changed our images into TF record files, and just what I am convinced is I am convinced to uh, make one function to maybe read and decode those TF record files. Okay, so I will make one maybe